eyewitness to his throne. I'm saying, but you would rather be where his throne is near than where it will never be. You know what I'm saying? Not because he's not king or he can't. I'm not saying because he's not king. It's because his throne is in heaven, bro. So a false prophet would be somebody that's leading you away from where is the throne of heaven, bro. And the throne of heaven is in heaven, bro. It's not in reincarnation. It's not in Bardo. It's not in Nirvana. It's not the throne of heaven where God will eventually be at some time. Meaning that there is no moment of separation from you and a relationship with Him. Is being a false prophet. Those people were false prophets, and I'm not trying to be rude about it. I'm not a vicious or violent person. I don't fight ever. I'm saying that that's still what it's unraveled in front of us. It's false prophets, and then I don't even know what. Maybe the witness that we have is that gentleman that they called Muhammad. Maybe, because I don't think he was a prophet. Because a prophet, if you combine what I just said, would be a prophet, would be what its true nature is. Is somebody that is being instructed or sent from heaven. Not, because if you're instructed and you're coming from heaven, why would you tell people about paradise and another depiction of God and stuff like that, which is going to lead all these people astray, that they're walking in Mecca. They're walking in circles in Mecca. They're walking in circles in Mecca, bro. They're walking in circles, and what do you think they're walking in circles for, bro? Because they're close to God? Yeah? Okay. For me to come on here, to come on to gaming, to come on to streaming, to get on the Xbox and PS5 and computer. What are they called? What is this called, bro? This is the internet. This not all the way. This is we're on the internet. For me to come on here and tell y'all how and all this stuff, it's like, come on, y'all. Come on, bro. Like, to tell you this stuff on the internet, come on, dude. This ain't even. This is like being in a party chat. And back in the day when we were playing COD, and we were just like young people and all that stuff, and we would just have like people would like say, man, we're gonna take on everyone on the other side. And it was like, man, you wish it was like Epic Games back in the day with Gears of War. And it was like we're in games like that, or Call of Duty or whatever. I'm like, in it, and the person's like, yeah. And it's like, dog, do I have to go this far to disclose the idea of what it is to be and do all these things and say all these things? Why does it have to go like that? What made this thing so inevitable that I had to say something on this system like this? What did I do? Like, why? What did not that I do? What did, like, whatever the internet, you as a species has done for me to come over here and provide this information to people that are just, not the bad people, but people that have access to things that they shouldn't have, like those things that I said, like the Democrats that might vote that the 2,000 tariff doesn't come in. The $2,000 tariff needs to come in. And that's all I'm saying. It has to come in. So with that being said, the $2,000 tariff check, when after these taxes are done, they have no excuse for saying no, because there's people that are surviving in this world and paying taxes and doing work and living and doing all these things. And the fact that you're gonna ignore the move that Donald Trump did, you're gonna ignore, yeah, like that would be ignoring Donald Trump's work. Like, think about it. The societal debt of a country, the societal debt, the not societal, the countrywide national debt, the national debt, right, has been wiped clean. And because, oh look, they got something in the store now. Oh wow. Oh wow. Think about it. These things from Avatar, they come to like a world and realize that there's a national debt. And the fact that the national debt was 37 trillion and it is now like profiting. It was, instead of being red 37 trillion, it is like giving away money now. Like, not that they're gaining more in debt, because all these people were coming and doing export and import and all this stuff without this this move that Donald Trump did, and by ignoring the move that Donald Trump has done, and saying no, they don't get it. And then the importance, guys, let me try to, dude, the way to just summarize this in a way is the importance of that tariff and how it was able, that tax on importing and exporting to United States. How the importance of how that eventually got put in place is not to be ignored, bro. It's not to be ignored. So declining him after the whole House is Republican and there is no Democrats no more in there, and then there's no excuse, because the amount of money that the White House and the United States has made on the importing and exporting, knowing very well when you look at the back of almost all your stuff, it says made in China. You know what I'm saying? It says made in China. You think about that. All those things that said made in China had to make payments to the United States just to be an item on that turf. So with that being said, all that money, he has basically wiped away all the national debt, dude. All the national debt. So with that being said, the national debt, people are being responsible, they pay their taxes, they're being classified as middle class or this and that. That tariff check needs to come out as soon as possible. And I'm just sitting here talking about it, even though it takes time for the tax season to be over. The deadline for tax season is in, it's like 1 month and 30 days from today, from the 10th of March. 30 days. Tax season is 30 days, is over with 30 days from now. So right after tax season, there could be a huge announcement about the release of the tax of the release of the dividend check, bro, the tariff check. Out of the kindness of their heart, bro, they're literally getting a tariff. We're literally going to be getting a tariff check, bro. So, I mean, what I'm trying to really point out is that with the tariff check of $2,000 to every American citizen, not just the middle class. If you have, if one of the branches is saying no, but maybe if you do it as middle class, then it can pass. Whatever. It should be every American citizen, because then after that you have your consensus, and then you have your.
That down is to talk to me. Look, no, they have the exceptions for the military, and I would even say foreign base military, but for the military, for disability, for illness, and if you're traveling, and I was lenient on that. Those three things. Then I added two. These are best of, best of. These are called best of Trump. We should also add on to this bill, and so what I've asked Mike to do is to draw a new one with these few things added, and let's go for the gold. Let's not just get one like voter ID, but it can be given to you by your daughter. Your daughter, she has to be of age, like above 6 years old. She's allowed to say. You had to see some of this stuff is so bad. They're doing everything possible because they know if we get this, they probably won't win an election for 50 years.
Okay. Wow. Wow. Oh my gosh. Where he's gonna? It's his lot. This is online. So, and dude. So the only thing that could really stop that tariff check from going out is those Democrats. Really, in a way, because he just said it. He just told us what it was. That's because, in a way, we will now, like the voter thing, voting for president would be like voting for the president would be honest. It would be more honest than it is, because the tariff check is going to make everybody happy, not just the Republicans. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to make everybody happy. And he just said that if you, that's the only way that this doesn't get passed, is because somebody has snuck into, or a mole, like a mole or something, has grown into, has come out of society and said that, to vote against giving out the dividend check, because they know for sure that you're going to have true identification, voter identification, presidential identification. So presidential identification for voting is important. No wonder Kanye West was telling us go vote, because he was really smart. He was telling us, guys, it was like, it's important to have the ability to vote, bro. It's important. Not just for like future choices, but the fact that we get voter identity to vote, y'all gotta take advantage of that before it gets taken away from y'all because there's somebody to do something. I'm not saying that he's predicting the future. I'm just saying that if somebody takes away voter identification because y'all out here trying to be a Democrat while you're Republican, then you're gonna ruin stuff for our future. And so with that being said, let me see what he's saying. That tariff check is important.
But boy, did they get killed, because even the Democrats, you saw the numbers today, Democrats voted 86% that this stuff should be passed. The Democrats, with Republicans, you're at 98%. But Democrats are at 86, except for the people that run the Democrat Party, because they want to try and win elections illegally. It's the only reason you vote against voter ID is because you want to cheat.
Oh,
There's
they want
no
to
other
cheat.
reason. They come up with reasons. They say
So that's why that
it's
tariff check is
racist.
important, bro.
That's their number one, racist. Then you have to explain it, and they're just sitting there mumbling. They can't explain it. And it's actually very insulting when they use the term racist. Very insulting to the people that they're trying to so-called defend, but they're not defending. Then I wanted to add two more to it, because they're, I say 95%, maybe 100%. No men in women's sports. Very simple. Add that in. And
So there we go, guys. There we go. That dividend check, is the importance of it has been told to us, bro. so we're most likely y'all just hold on. We'll be getting a $2,000 dividend check after all this time finally, and just be patient. Just be patient. We'll be all right. And then to really start moving on from things. We'll talk about the dividend check. There's no money that can compare to happiness and things like that. What I want to clarify up for my sake and my reputation and things like that is that the people that I talked about, I hope that everything is all right, and I hope that nobody has access to this that that has an opinion about like my intention and the way that I'm actually saying this out of like the kindness in my heart after what happened with 9/11 and all that stuff. And I'm still saying that you're like innocent, and then like those people in some way with what I'm saying are sort of innocent because they don't have somebody to tell them, because the person that they had supposedly existed but was godly enough to make sure that he's not blamed for blasphemy. So with that being said, it wasn't supposed to go there. I wasn't supposed to, that was a very private thing. The fact that that was disclosed it's not funny. So I don't understand why y'all are laughing, because what I'm saying is that I wasn't trying to talk about that. I wasn't talking. That is something between him and God, not for me to tell. And the fact that, and it's not even that. The main reason is that the whole Kamala Harris thing. Her middle name is Debbie, dude. I don't want my children to see a President Debbie. It wasn't about an Arabic God or deity, dude. It wasn't about that. And the fact that I'm over here having to prove their innocence, and then now I'm speaking about a deity, and then now I'm having to talk about the person that listened as a man, and as a human being, Moses. I'm talking about Moses and the commandments, and Messiahs, and the Ark of the Covenant, and we're talking about all this stuff. And I don't even know why I'm doing that. I don't get it. I don't know why I'm doing that. I literally don't know. So because like when you really think about it, I'm not continuing to go on this, but the fact that it's like this, and I got to a dividend check. First of all, with Moses, the whole thing there, that is the fact that we had even Moses come over here, and I can't believe that I'm having to tell y'all about Moses while I'm talking about something that is a way later thing, that is like when he came down the mountain and he saw the golden calf to his people after being commanded about the commandments, about how the Exodus went with the Pharaoh. And so in a way, if Moses, I hope that like everybody is good, bro, because Moses already did more than enough for us, bro. He has taught us how to be holy, how to do things that please God, and all these things without ever mentioning the word Debbie or even anything close to Debbie. Anything close. He barely ever mentions the word of the dark creature, the bad character that tried to offer Jesus the world, when Jesus is like the son of the owner of everything, son of God. And there was a person that tried to do that, and the fact that Moses was able to do all that stuff and never mention the words, basically in thousands of years, he lived 1,000 years of human life, and shared with us how to be very cleansed and how to be not be sinful in nature, because he knew the commandments before anybody. The fact is that what I'm trying to say is that I don't know why I'm going all the way around in a circle like that. What I'm trying to say is that what I'm trying to say is that about the whole me trying to reconvene the fact that nobody was commanded before the commandments were made about what to do and what not to do, unless you were instructed by God and it never went into the Bible. So what I'm trying to say with Moses is that, yes, he took out an Egyptian person before he was ever told anything by God about what he can and cannot do. So he finally gets those things, and so he is not a murderer. He's not a murderer. That's not murder. I don't know how else to say it. That's not murder. He did not have commandments. And another thing, I'm over here for the reputation of Moses. I'm saying that it's not even really about me having to it's really actually, I'm kind of saying, like, I apologize for, like, trying to fix the reputation of the start of Moses, the way that Moses helped us get out of the situation. So I'm like basically saying I apologize having this, like, who am I to say, hey, bro, you know what? He's not a murderer. What I am is somebody that recognized that he was never told, he was never commanded. He, like, from what we know, he was never commanded to not do those things. Because look at what him and the Father did in Exodus. Look what they did. So, and then there is a moment in time in history where, in a specific time, that the Hebrew people did not have commandments. So, and then it's almost like at one time everybody spoke the same language, which is really, really confusing. Because the fact that, you know, I mean, this is way, like, just to be clear, the fact that I'm out here clearing names and reputations of people that y'all should be looking up to as heroes, that just shows y'all that y'all, you know, like, if you are that way, you're tripping. Because these are heroes. Y'all, there are heroes, bro. Duh.
I was out of the house at 20.
So basically, with the tariff check and all that, and by the way, the fact that that the terrorists, those terrorists in 9/11, I'm not cleaning up their reputation, bro. I'm not here to do that. I'm talking about their deed. I'm talking about that reputation should have never been, like, he should have never been in a situation to have me say this to rectify it. Because that person, I don't know how else to tell y'all, bro. That person is not a destroyer. Do I have to say it like that? Because the truth is, that person that person is a creative existence. It's creative, not a destroyer. It's so for me to have to come over here and literally go in a huge circle to go and tell y'all. Look about it, bro. They're walking around in circles in Mecca. In Mecca, bro. I'm not here to make opinions, but they're walking around an idol, and nobody's doing anything about it. And you know why nobody's doing anything about it? Make a speculation. You know why? Because the person that they thought is God is intelligent. He abandoned them. He left that situation because you could be claimed for a blasphemer. You would be claimed as a blasphemer if you continue, if he had been continued to be prayed to. Imagine he was getting prayed to. God knows all things, and there's a person being prayed to, and saying, God is good. God is good. Even though he has gone with Moses and he has flooded the world. And yes, he answers prayers, but they're saying God is good in another language. And it's like, this person that you're saying that is God, and you're saying is good, you're going to make that person go to the wrong place. Because, and that person don't need, y'all, he don't need that. He don't need that, bro. It's that, it don't need, so with that whole, like, Allah situation, y'all don't get it that you're walking in circles. They're walking in circles. Some of those people are walking in circles in Mecca, whatever it's called, bro. And you don't think that I'm gonna have internal, like, oh my goodness, I feel bad, because these aren't soldiers or people that are executing people in public. These are people that actually don't do anything wrong. They're just going in circles because they don't know any better. They don't know any better. They think that that is the way to please God. But the fact is, if you look at that on another perspective, that looks like somebody that they thought was in it true, like as God, as like they thought that this person was God, not like the Son of God. I'm talking about they thought that this language created version, after all these civilizations have made, were right about God, this civilization's language makes this innocent being have to report, and in a way would be repenting to God, when that person's intuition and signs and works is a lot of creation, procreation, bro. Procreation. Like, not, like, it's not destruction in any way, bro. It's not destruction. So, with that being said, it's not destruction. So, the signs of people being in Mecca, those people, they need a savior, bro. They need somebody, a savior, because Allah, from what I know as a positive, creative existence, a person that may know God because he's being named God in another language, it's sad, because when those people were doing those, the 9/11 things, that it was said that they were saying in Arabic that God is good in Arabic, and then doing that and going to destroy, hurt a piece of matter. Remember, guys, it's Pablo Paints, Mad Hatter, Matter, policeman, and everything like that. Remember, and they're saying that God is good, and they're saying that this existence is going to be thankful for the act that they're doing on a building with a plane. You think that they're taking people hostage later that are not, because the World Trade Center was not Christian only. People believed in God. But it wasn't just a Christian only. They literally hit a plane on their own people, Islamic owned people. They hit a plane on the World Trade Center where people were Muslim and Islamic. Actually, they were working in there too. There was not just Christian people, bro. And there was people that were in at the exterior of that place that were Islamic and Muslim, just like they do in those other countries. And they didn't care. So the excuse that they were Christian to go playing and destructing and stuff like that, bro, they have no excuse, because who you're thinking is an excuse is not a destroying existence. It's, if anything, you may have a run-in. You know what they used to say that for before the plane situation in New York? You know what they used to say? Listen to me, bro. I'm talking about this after 1 or 2 years after what we did with What If, and how I had to protect everything from like all what was happening. But the reason I'm doing that now is because the fact that when we were doing that, I'm not going to name why when we were doing that, because that's going to deflect the reason why I'm saying it now. But the reason why I'm able to say it now is because the most important place on earth is basically not under threat anymore. So with that being said, there's other places. They're not just about threat. It's not just about that they're under threat. They're living in a savage way of life. And it's sad because it's sad because they need Jesus Christ. They need a savior, bro. They need it. They need it more than anybody right now. Because you're not going to get to the Father without Jesus Christ. Nowadays. Back in the day, maybe. But remember what Jonathan Rumi said? As Jesus on Chosen? Yeah, keep doing what you're doing. It's going so well for y'all. And he said that in a show depicting thousands of years in the past. Saying that to like his closest disciples. Yeah, keep doing what you're doing. And imagine what it is to see them walking around in Mecca and looking like that. Looking like that. So they need a savior. But then when I start saying that, I start to think about the people that I care a lot about, bro. In the society, the Jewish society, the Bible readers, the Torah readers, the Christian people. I think so much about them because I don't want them to be misconfused about who was the Messiah or who is the Messiah. Because I don't want to make theories, because we can all tell that there, but even though in the sense of the word in Scripture, the word Messiah or Savior is barely ever written, and you got to stay with what is written. I don't think it's even. I'm not gonna go on the computer and like try to and see what's not written and what's written. But the word Messiah and like that is and stuff like that is I think it's like Messiah in the Torah. The idea that there is in Judaism that there is that the Messiah, they don't claim Jesus yet as the Messiah. It's important to me because y'all are so beautiful that you're going to have so many possibilities of who could be the Messiah. You understand what I'm saying? And that's going to create in your minds, y'all's beautiful minds, it's going to create an idea of who is the Messiah, but not God, because y'all are loyal. Y'all have always been loyal. So you're going to create, and it's beautiful to see like the heroes and ideas and stuff like that. But then with the idea of thinking about that, continued after all this time, thinking that Jesus is not the Messiah, you're going to start to wonder things. Like, for me, when I get off track like this, I know that Jesus Christ has, like, saved us. I'm not going to talk about, like, depictions of what the word Messiah until I know more about it. I can't continue talking about it more, except for the fact that I can start to picture and think about who else could it be if it's not Jesus Christ. It's not any of those false deities, if anything. I don't think it would be any of those false deities, or they're false prophets, I guess. I don't think it would be any of them. In fact, it would be like it if it was not Jesus Christ, the one that's dealing with working and fixing everything for us. Like, it's not gonna be somebody from. It's not gonna be one of those deities. All those deities. The one thing, God is so impressive. He can be so impressive because He knows all things, and the fact that He got those deities in the sense of because they were getting prayed to, the fact that He got them in this sense of the matter, those deities will never be for people. Mostly never. I never say never. Like Jesus, never say never. Jesus didn't say never say never. But
at 21.
God really got them, bro. You know those false. You know, I'm not even trying to be rude. Because those false prophets that came years ago to life are not going to be in the presidential election of possible the Messiah for God's people. Because why? The Messiah is not going to be somebody that was a false prophet that led all these people like them, like Gandhi. And Gandhi's not your Messiah. He's not. God already got them. You understand what I'm saying? God has already did His godly duty in the past on future people that are gonna think that they're gonna be God's Messiah. Like those people, that Gandhi and Buddha and all them, they're not in the running. There's no running for because God has already got them. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? God has already got them as how do I say? God has already got them in the past for knowing their like sins almost. It looks like He's got them that bad. He's got them that bad. Because those people are not going to be in there. So if y'all think that, look at a good example is this. If y'all think that Muhammad is going to be the Jewish Messiah, you know what I'm saying? That's what those other people got, all those other false ones were. Like, impossible. It cannot be. Muhammad will not be the Messiah. Think about it. He is on the same level as those, dude, as he's on the same level as false profiteering, as Buddha and Gandhi, but worse, because he's led people into murder. Gandhi and them, they don't never say to murder. But so if y'all think that if at any point in time that Muhammad is going to be it's not, if y'all think that he's gonna be the God's people, bro, the Jewish people, if you think that Muhammad or anyone near him, like anybody that is a false prophet, is gonna be the Messiah of Judaism. You know what the Messiah has to do now. Y'all know what the Messiah has to do? And this is not against Jesus Christ. I'm with Jesus Christ. I'm not saying that I'm standing next to him or he's standing next to me. I'm on his team. I would never be against him. What I'm saying is that I don't even know why I have to say it like that. Because what I'm trying to say is so loving, bro. Because Jesus, in the sense of things, he's going to have to leave the presence of heaven to complete the task of what the actual Messiah is going to have to do. And the fact that Jesus, knowing more than we would ever know, and all the rabbis that he ran into in time, I'm not even being rude, he knew more than them before everything ever existed. So for him to be excluded as a Messiah, even though he's a savior, in their ideas, it's almost, I can't even explain. It's almost, it's sad because he, dog, in the sense of the word savior, he's done more than enough, bro. So with that being said, so the fact is this: we're sitting here debating and we're having a debacle about savior, and then Kamala Harris almost becoming president, and Donald Trump not getting notoriously famous for defeating that level of a beast in front of everybody. He has survived all of those things and is living to tell the tale and still running things. And he told us about a check. And I'm over here trying to tell y'all about this, and it's written in the Bible about making false promises and stuff like that. It's not that I'm saying that Donald Trump is a prophet or false prophet. I'm saying that he is a God-loving man, and he makes me proud, bro. He makes me proud to be an American. He makes me proud to see all these things. So if there is an issue getting those checks out, I don't blame him. See how I don't blame him? I'm saying it's like the Congress or the Senate. And you see how I don't blame that the person that was being prayed to in the past. Remember the guy, the man Allah. I don't know how like to say it, but he I don't blame him for like making for leaving like I don't blame him for leaving all those people running in circles in those areas. In the sense of like in the moment redacting yourself for the sense of the first commandment that was ever like given to Moses, that there is no other God. And in the sense of, it's not just about fear. I'm talking about like when you know, if you're, what I'm trying to say is like your intelligence level, with intelligence, you can actually locate love. And with love, you're never going to run into love without a moment of God's design. And if you're intelligent, you can notice some parts of it. And if you are a deity, you gotta be somewhat smart, bro. You gotta be able to notice the signs. You know how those Instagram reels, it's like, if this like if I've been reincarnated or like this is like, don't be signs. Dude, y'all, how can you be, how can you manage a civilization? Look, this, how could you manage this and not realize that there's one God? There's only one God. And it's not because of his name being God. Y'all, that's not even the way. It's not. How else do I say this? Like, it's out of the sense of love that you find God, bro. And when you're intelligent, you definitely wanna, and happiness and love. And what I'm over here doing is I'm trying to explain that, that with that situation, with the tariff check and all that, we wouldn't even be having a conversation about having a dang tariff check if Kamala Harris won presidency, bro. We wouldn't even be having a conversation about, are we getting a tariff check if Kamala Harris won the presidency, bro? Y'all not realize that? I mean, at what point do you not realize that? All that type of stuff, bro. Like, do y'all think that we would be talking even a debate about a tariff check if Kamala Harris won presidency, bro? Think about it. Because, think about it, there's people walking in circles without any instruction. Do you think that we would be able to talk about having a, you know what I'm saying? Like a dividend check. Like, Donald Trump is the reason that he's a businessman that later became president and made a presidential level event where he won a candidacy when they were trying to take him out, and also goes and becomes president, and then sees that all of this, he ends up seeing all this stuff, and capitalizes on it and makes the country's debt total go away, bro. 37 million trillion or whatever, however much it was. He himself has literally wiped out the national country's debt without having to be, without ever, like, dude, we wouldn't have this conversation if Kamala Harris, Debbie Harris, I'm not even going to say Kamala Harris anymore, for the fact that the deity or the significance of the name of Allah is in another term, in another language, the name of God translated. I'm not going to say Kamala Harris anymore. It's going to be, y'all think we have this conversation if Debbie was President Debbie. Y'all think we would be even talking about a dividend check? We'd be talking about, go watch the show Vice, President. Go watch the show Vice and you'll see that women, not everyone, but women are picky and choosy and get what they want. So, go watch Vice. There's your excuse. It's not even, is it Vice President or, it's called Vice President. Go watch that show and then come back at me later and tell me if I'm kind of not, if I'm far from understanding how bad it would have been if she would have become president. President Debbie. Not Kamala. Maybe that's the way I fix the situation. Because the fact that I'm talking about the Arabic language, Persian, all this stuff, it's not even Persian. It's a new creation of language, of a translated God. So I'm not gonna say Kamal. It's like Kamal. It's like in another way you're saying come on God Harris, and it's not like not in a detestable way, but in the sense of being lenient about the name God. And so I'm not about to do that. It's gonna be. Y'all think we're going to have this conversation if Debbie was president? Y'all think we playing summer skirmish, and y'all think we're gonna become like boo? You think that all of us in competitive Fortnite would have any way of maybe getting a setup or anything if Kamala Harris was president, bro? Because she ain't even have any. Not Kamala, Debbie. If President Debbie became president, do y'all think that we would have the possibility of having a $2,000 tariff check come in, bro? Come on, y'all. Come on. Like, if you think that, because if you think that Debbie is going to give you financial support, if you think that that person was going to give y'all financial support, then you're lost. Because that person's name might as well be Destroyer. Not that person's name might as well be Destroyer Harris. Destroyer Harris, not Kamala. It's really annoying to me that happened. That person's name is Kamala. Because when you really understand what I'm saying, it's not just God. What I'm talking about. You can bring in Elijah. Y'all heard about what happened with Elijah. Elijah saw something and he was with God in prayer state and prayers and stuff like that, and ran into a society that was doing stuff like the golden calf, and then almost like this like Allah stuff, but he was with God, so he made them prove that he proved those people to those people that they were absolutely wrong about who they supposedly thought God was. Elijah literally made those people try to do their old time fake rituals to prove to them that who they're praying to is wrong and is wrong. Elijah did that. He actually taunted them, bro. He taunted them and was like, hey, it's not about war. This is back in the past. This is stuff that we don't need to worry about too much to do, because none of us, Jesus Christ told us what we need to do now after all this time, basically. He basically told us what we need to do. Elijah and them, they had, that was so, y'all almost don't understand that we're talking about ancient level things that were pre-commandment, existences, bro. Think about it. We got one, bro. Where did I land? Where did I land, bro? I gotta win, dude. Oh my gosh.
I wanted to add in one other. I'm not even adding in no open borders, because there's some people that like open borders. These people are crazy, but that's okay, because I want 5 things that are close to 100%. No transgender mutilization in surgery for our children.
What?
You can't have transgender.
What? Oh, the skins. You're talking about the skins. The Fortnite skins that are male and female. You can't be a female and be using a guy skin, bro. I'm not making rules or anything. But won't y'all expect that or something? Bro, I have to go back in time to see where I've landed, bro. Where did I land in this thing? Where did we land? We just completed the task, bro. Hold on. We have just completed something. Where have I landed on here? Oh my goodness, bro. Where did I land? I can't finish the stream. Check the map. Please let me check the map. No way, bro. Where did I land? Oh my gosh. Where did we land? Goodness me. Come on, chat. Where did we land? Where did I land, bro? Where did I land? Where did I land, man? Damn, how much did I, distance travel? 3 kilometers. This is important to me, bro. I thank the bus driver, and all this, whatever, bro. So, GG's to this lobby, man, and, yeah. So, y'all remember so basically with what I said, even though I got a victory royale, it's very important and stuff like that, I finally get one after 3 hours. And then I finally get one after 3 hours, a victory crown, a crown victory. So yeah, I got that victory royale, and I have this. This is on live. This is recording, and I don't know where I landed, bro. So goodness me, I got that win finally, bro. I think I landed at, where did I land, bro? Let me see. Oh, goodness me. So, wow. We got that dub, and you already know, y'all. That was incredible. That win. Like, whoo. Man. How we got that dub, dude. We're uploading the dub, bro. And y'all know where we landed, bro. We landed in a place that we will not be landing until we win the other games. So, and we won with this one. That's with this skin. After he's a male skin, we can say that this is a man. So we won with this one, and so we can put that one as a winner. We won with this skin and this skin right next to. What a coincidence, bro! This skin and this skin are the skins that we won tilted with. This is a tilted skin. Then we won with this skin at Lazy Links. I finally win at Lazy Links after maybe half a day's worth of gaming, and so maybe if I wear something similar, I'll win again, bro. We get this winning streak going on. I mean, dude, this is. I understand that the time that was spent to get these wins is funny, bro. But some of the stuff that I'm talking about is, in a sense, it's not ignorant about, like, y'all. Do y'all really think that if we were remember the whole what if thing? It's not a thing that ever kind of ended, bro. And if you think that for a moment that, like, think about if for a moment if that Debbie was president, if we would have any chance at getting a dividend tariff check for $2,000. The fact is, money doesn't buy happiness. It does not buy happiness. So happiness is, it comes from your overall experience in life, and then you can decide what you think is happiness. Because happiness is almost like an opinion. That's what happiness is to me. Happiness, so I don't want to be unhappy. I wouldn't want to be unhappy. And whatever makes me unhappy, I don't have many of those. There might be things that might be close to getting me unhappy, but because their attempt, it's like good try at trying to make me unhappy. But so there's nothing really close that makes me unhappy, except for the fact that after all this time, there is a moment of distraction away from things. And I'm not gonna talk about unhappiness right now, bro. We just got a dub. We just got a dub, and we're gonna celebrate this dub because this was not easy, bro. We'll definitely make sure, because that was not easy. We're landing, dropping, we're doing like this. I got a dub like that, bro. I wasn't even carrying heels. Look at my loadout. I was straight up gold everything. Like that song, all gold. You know what? We'll go like this to start the new one. This is important. What's the new skin to wear for this upcoming, where we don't know where we're landing, but we gotta change? Well, I can stay on this server. Because we won on it. But once I lose, I'm jumping servers. Let me see here. It is Chapter 7, Season 1. It's 2026. And it's time that we put this thing on. Because we just gotta win. We got a win in there. We have to complete this challenge. The Globetrotter challenge has now been completed on the middle of the map, in the top center of the map, and continuing. And let's see. I mean, it's annoyingly time-wise.
5, voter ID, citizenship, mail-in ballots, no mail-in ballots. Right? We don't want men playing in women's sports. That's got to be about close to 100%. We don't want men playing in women's sports, and no.
He's right. Look at that. I was over here transgender. I'm not even transgender. I went to Nogos. I'm not even a woman.
Easiest thing to get past that you've ever had.
Like, what in the world, bro?
It's best of Trump. It's a best of Trump. I have some that are very popular, but I wouldn't put them in that category. This is the number one priority. It should be for the House. And I'd like to ask Tom, Steve, Mike, all of you, if you would, I'd like to have you go back and Lisa, hello, darling. She was screaming her affirmation of what I said. She went to kick.
Dude, I almost went into the game after talking about we're getting instructed by the president about there's transgenderism in sport, in the Olympics. And then I'm over here choosing Nogos, even though I'm choosing it for good reason, because it's Christmas skin. It's Chapter 7. In a way, it's being a little bit transgender, so I'm not transgender, bro. I'm not saying that, he was talking about this exact specific moment. I'm just talking about, dude, that tariff is that important, bro. Come on, bro. We got to get that tariff $2,000 check in, bro. All this, bro. All this.
It went wild. She was so happy that somebody finally said, let's vote on this. Lisa, you're going to get it done. Okay, I'm going to count on you. Forget the men up here.
All right. So we've got this. We've got Lazy Lings. We've done Tilted. And we've done the challenge. We're doing the challenge, bro. So this is the Globetrotter challenge. If y'all don't know, y'all gotta land at a spot. Once you land there, and you gotta win. You either win there or don't land there until every drop spot has been hit. So now we have a hot spot here. We're going. We're gonna be going. We're doing Frosty. I hope that I didn't land here. No, I haven't, bro. Not on this. Not on part 2 or part 3. This is dude. It's a hot drop. It's gonna save the world. We're gonna save the world. Dude, and then like I'm over here wondering about all these things. I have a crown. I have just one, bro, with the Warrior Big Squid. I just won. And then I'm like, we got it. This challenge is like right here. So, dude. Anyway, so here we're landing here. Let me see. Basically, I'm not ignorant to what I was saying when we won, bro. What I was saying during the win was really important, and I just need to clear that up before so I can continue and without having to worry about what I'm gonna, like, how to clear up what I'm saying. Because think about it, what I'm saying is important. It's really important because the fact is that because this game, we're playing it and all this, but there's a reality that, we're learning more than, like we're really we continue to learn every day. We have peace, we pray, be close to God. Don't lose that. And then, but before I continue, let me finish what it was that I was talking about so I can clear it in society so they understand that what I'm saying is so annoying because not what I was saying, what I'm about to say and continue to say is a little annoying because all I have is good intentions about this. All I'm doing is hoping for the best for somebody. Hoping for the best. And I'm over here having this, and I brought up important names, and there is reasoning about what I'm talking about. So basically what I'm talking about is in Mecca, there is people walking around in circles. One thing that you can get from that is that I'm not taunting them like, I'm not trying to say that Elijah's not one of my heroes, but Elijah, he verbally taunted the people because what is happening, I think what's happening in Mecca isn't what was happening when Elijah walked up on what was happening much later with the tribe out there. There was a moment when Elijah was walking around, and the fact that this is not considered like close to what was going on, then we have no idea what Elijah walked on, and we don't have no idea in the sense of measurement what Moses walked on when he got the commandments. Because there was a situation, first there was that golden calf situation, right after Moses was told about what is not right and what's not, what could be considered wrong. The reason why I stutter when I say stuff like this, or it could be this, is because before Moses was told about all this, the tribe of Adam and Eve, you know what I'm saying? Like, of Adam and Eve, yes, they were exiled from where they were born, right? Yeah. But they still had, in between time, had between Adam and Eve and Moses, there was a time when the tribe spoke. That bloodline had basically one rule that we know. We don't know, because everything that's personal between you and God is between you and God. So we don't know everything. So I can't just say that everything was okay. But I can say that in the sense of written word, we don't have, there looks like a measurement of time and space where there was actually just one rule. Like, you know, it seems like there was just one rule. And that's, you know, there was no one rule. And then there was one rule. That's what it looks like. So, and then there was 10. With that being said, it just like it's crazy, because it's the Hebrew people that were told that they were going to be incarcerated by a known nemesis. And they did it. They went through it and got past it. They didn't have commandments at first. I'm not saying Moses didn't do anything productive. He helped us. In fact, he helped us more than anybody will ever. The reason why I'm talking about this is because Moses is like, so because Moses basically, so with y'all have to understand the level of Moses, bro. Not be the level of Moses. Understand. So you gotta understand the level of Moses. You can't really understand it, what I'm trying to say, because what he did and how he was able to do that, we're talking about much later, about what happened with Moses and everything like that. He was so loyal to God that we were gifted about knowing what was favorable to God, almost, after being exiled from the Garden of Eden. And being exiled from there, we got told by Moses what society, in the end, where like society is like, not in the end, but so with Moses, we have like the legend of, like, these are heroes we're talking about, bro. And with Moses, he tells us about a lot of things, but he does not mention much the words of the dark side. He mentions how to avoid it after releasing the hostages of the Hebrew people that they weren't lawless, but they did not have written, from what we know from the ancient texts, written about what they can and can't do until the 10 Commandments came out. So the 10 Commandments finally came out, and Moses is the one that received it after going through that country and releasing them. And y'all have to remember, bro, that when he did that, he had to have some sort of like way of understanding that, because he left that place. He left that place and then came back. So he left, which is a sign in human nature that he didn't like something about that place or something. Think about it. He was born into that place, but he was not born into that place of pyramid building. He was born on another place, a place that he would have claimed to say that was his earthly home area. And so he wasn't born Egyptian. He was not born in there. But he gets taken in while they're doing that. And he still, and the whole people, everybody, doesn't have written words that are rules of what God likes and God doesn't like, or something like that. Because we don't. The reason why I say I don't know if it's like or what. I know that sin is wrong, but I don't. Like I just have I've had like a recent situation where, like, I think of. Hold on. All right, this is the drop. This is the Globetrotter challenge. We have won at Lazy Links and Tilted Towers already. Now, and I have not. I didn't change the server, so I'm just gonna land Tilted this time because I didn't change the. No, you know what? It's fine. I'll land at. Let me see here. I didn't change the server, bro. So basically there was a time in the ancient days, like I can't believe that we're in 2026 talking about the ancient days like this, because what I want to understand is that with society is so important, that humanity is so important, that like when you think about us and how everything works and stuff like that, man, we are like, it's incredible because, dude, when you think about, how do you think about it, bro? Like the fact that the Messiah in Judaism is still not debated as like claimed that Jesus Christ was that, but he's a savior. It shows the importance of being able to think. And it's not about being self-aware and stuff like that. It's because the fact that a Messiah, at the level of what Jesus Christ as the Son of God, and still for them, I'm not saying he's not Messiah. I know he came in the flesh. I believe he came in the flesh. I know there's gonna be false prophets out there. We were told about this. It's written about this. So, I mean, think about it. Remember with Elijah? And Elijah goes around and finds out that some of these people are bowing to not like how people are doing. I mean, people are bowing with nowadays to that arrogant, constructed deity. You know, they are getting on their knees because they're bowing, and praying. But I don't understand how that is in any way like not relevant to what I'm thinking about. You understand what I'm saying? Like, what I'm thinking about is that the the blasphemy because of language barriers is so in our face nowadays that we don't even notice it. And it's like, like, you know how they say in the day of Noah? In the days of Elijah, dude, imagine if Elijah was supposed to come, leave heaven for a moment after all this time and see this after how he did the people that were in that area that was bowing to another deity, but this deity was known for darkness and savagery and you know, and stuff like that. And you know, the whole thing with this Arabic version of Arabic way of saying God is that word. You know what I'm saying? It's that word that it's like ALA or something, bro. A double or with an H at the end or something like that. Y'all would have to understand that if you were ever at a level of something like that, if you were that, you will probably have a situation about what's happening in Mecca right now. And I'm not even here being rude. I'm looking out. What's happening in Mecca out in Saudi Arabia area, there's people walking around in circles, and it's not that they are like they're not thought about. The fact is this, the reasoning that I think that they're continuing to run in circles, walk in circles in Mecca, wherever that is, I've heard about it. In Mecca, they're walking in circles, and the commandments that God gave Moses, one specifically says something about idolatry, which is like statues, worship of statues, and then you shall have no other God. And with that being the case, these people in Mecca, they are treating it like they have another God, and they are idolatry, like make no statue or image of heaven or anything. That was one of the ways, and what I'm saying is that they're doing that over there, so they're double at the same time while thinking they're doing something holy, even though Moses told us so many ways of being holy. And they're doing it like that. So if somebody were to come up, like Elijah, to come down and check on the world. And this is another way to be so thankful that Jesus Christ came, the Son of God, who's really pure-hearted and loving. Because if Elijah were to come down here, like he did with Jesus Christ, and he came to check or do something with Jesus Christ, and he came down with Moses. They left for a moment, and they left. It's almost not really leaving. I don't even know how to say it, because but Elijah and Moses appeared to Jesus Christ, and they spent the entire night, and the entire time, not night, the entire time together. And then there's like written ancient text about like how even Jesus Christ, the Son of God, in the vessel of a human, when he came back from that meeting, which is special. It's special. That is special. I mean, having to speak with Elijah and speak with Moses. These people are, each one of them could be somebody's hero. Each one of them, but they're all heroes. One is the Son of God. One is one that saved people from pharaohs. One was not oblivious to the commandments and lived by the way that he was instructed is, holy. If y'all remember the Ten Commandments, when they were being transferred from Mount Sinai, look at this, from when they were being transferred, those commandments were the Levi tribe was in charge of, the tribe of Levi was in charge of checking, the tribe of tribe of Levi was in charge of carrying those things. So those things were really holy, dude, because if y'all know the tribe of Levi, they are very holy. And they were given the responsibility of carrying it, and we have information based upon the ancient text that if somebody touched the box that was carrying the commandments, that it wasn't like in the beginning when God told Adam and Eve about, like, they shall surely die. Nobody really knew that they would die. But so, like, they ended up that had to be so well architecturally constructed that there had to be a consequence. That it was created, the Ark of the Covenant was created, and there was a option on the Ark of the Covenant, or it wasn't even an option. We don't have an idea of on how there is some idea of how I have by telling y'all the people the tribe that was held responsible for carrying that had some sort of situations where let me see. So the tribe of Levi was okay, hold on, y'all. Obviously, we're talking about stuff like that. We're getting very ancient with it. Don't let it distract you that we have this game. I'm not saying don't follow. I'm saying don't let it distract you that we have this and we're able to queue in. So, oh snap. And with that being the case, I lost on that server, so I gotta change servers, bro. This time I'm gonna go to NAE. This one. So, with the tribe of Levi, it's scary in the sense of, like, one of their hairs was endangered if they touched the Ark of the Covenant. Because if you think about it, you don't have to get like physics with it. You don't have to get like use scientific physics to try to explain that, because then you're gonna try to explain like a black hole or white dwarf star and stuff like that being put inside a box that has heard the beauty of God. Those materials were in the presence of Moses and God during during and after the event of God spreading the ocean, the Red Sea. He split the Red Sea basically in half, bro. And Moses was there to instruct the people to get across the sea. So, that's a lot of strength, man. That's a lot of strength. Not only that, all those other things that they did under the instruction of God, they did that, and obviously we give the glory to God. Moses was there as a leader, as a person that's important, and everything like that. Y'all gotta remember too that Jesus Christ had he did have a moment with Moses and Elijah while they were on earth. But remember that the 10 Commandments were put in a box that was constructed by specific levels of cubits, around in the sense of cubits, and everything was supposed to have all these different styles of material. And some of the people so basically Moses basically has a civilization of Hebrew people that have been freed. And basically, with that being said, all right, hold up. So this is the challenge of goodness me, bro. We're on the internet, and it's not a bad place for communication, but I'm doing the challenge that's really difficult, bro. It's the Globetrotter challenge, bro. It's not easy. This ain't easy. And we've already won at Lazy Links, and we won at Tilted. So all these other places, except for the ones we've landed at, are options for completing this. So for right now, we have a place, a hot drop. I've beat that part of the map. Now I'm on NAE, so I have to choose a good place. We're going retail. This one is the retail one. It's either retail or salty, bro. I already landed salty, I think. I landed salty, I think. I have not landed retail. I'm landing retail. Is this NAE or South America, bro? Bro, it's gonna save the world. It's gonna save the world. I mean, I hope I landed here at the right spot. I hope I'm not breaking the rules. Oh my gosh, I got a scar. And then also, y'all have to realize that, the importance of, the importance of some things. Hold on. Goodness me. Reality versus what could be. Reality is important. In Fortnite is one of the one things with the storyline talking about multiple realities and different choices and stuff like that. So this used to be an underground bunker right here. I heard chest. Oh, here it is. So, and then, you know what's really important is that, ooh, a lot of people don't understand, like, I don't really hear people saying this, but for me, he's my hero too. Abraham. And in the United States, where the tariff is for $2,000 tariff that we're getting in the future, they have signed something called the Abraham Accord. Abraham is very, very, very important. Just because he didn't leave heaven to come check on Jesus Christ while he was on earth, which shows his level of royalty and significance. Because if you're leaving heaven, right, for a moment of time, and dude, that's hard to do, I would think, because obviously the gates are hard. I would just say emotionally hard to do, because leaving for a moment there, that's hard. It's hard. So, but yeah, Abraham was there. He was not there at that time when Jesus Christ was seen afterwards. There's written an ancient text about, which is called the Holy Bible. I'm saying ancient text because I don't know the numerical page, but I know that there's evidence that when he was at, like, dude, I'm doing this, you might as well be like Bear Grylls is out there talking about this in 2026. He's having his walk with and everything like that. Dude, I'm over here giving y'all all this, like telling y'all this stuff about the ancient text and stuff like that. Think about that. That's, some people, they didn't understand that it was like this level of importance, but it is important. And so when Jesus was on earth, he had a moment where Elijah and Moses were able to come and check on him. So what I was kind of straying off of, bro, but I came back, I always come back to talking about this, is the thing that they were doing with, Elijah is showing up with Moses, or Moses is showing up with Elijah. That means that they, that to me is a sign of wow, whoa, not many people could handle, not many systems or whatever you want to call it could handle that amount of energy, bro. Think about that energy that came here. It's really, really important. So if what happened with Jesus comes back from talking on the mountain with Elijah and Moses, they said that Jesus, it's written that Jesus' face had been manipulated due to the amount of energy that was in that room, that surface, that surface literally was able to hold Jesus Christ, Elijah, and Moses' and Elijah's spiritual self, and Jesus in Jesus' own physical self, which is, it's not, whatever world Jesus was in and walking on, that is a strong, if y'all say it's a system or whatever you say, that is strong just because everything that he does is important. And so it's really, really important. And then he has people showing themselves again, being able to represent themselves. And the way that it's written that, he met with Elijah and Moses on a mountain on one of the times in the day. And it says that after that, this person, if y'all remember what he took so we could be clean from sin, by just a few minutes of time on a mountain, with the next level event of having Elijah and Moses show up on their planet. He came down and they said that he had, not permanently, but for a little bit, was like somewhat manipulated. His his physical look was somewhat manipulated from it doesn't say what from, but they just say it in a general way that he appeared like changed. He not forever, like it's just like an event, like if you see like a shooting star or like something like that, and your face changes or whatever for a moment. Now I think there's different identities, okay? So with that being said, that is really important. So now y'all understand how important Elijah is to what I'm talking about. And then what I'm trying to say is, if Elijah were to come to see this world at this time, he would, I can't really think for him, but, they know more than we do. So, I can't really, I can't think for him, but I know based upon his past reactions with his walk with God in life, is when he saw that, he stayed patient. He saw that some people had expanded so much that they were starting to offer sacrifices to false and wrong, not real deed, like something that was man-made, but there was no, it shows a sign of frustration, and he literally tells those people, he tells their main priests that to do their sacrifices, their burnt offerings, the burnt offering sacrifice, he tells them to literally do it while he said put water. First he said do it, y'all do it, not encouraging it. He was testing these unclean spirits that were manipulating these people. And when you look at it, he sits there for some time. Elijah sits there for some time, and then it seems like a very, very long time, because he starts to tell them when he's about to do the same thing to them, but much harder. He sits there patiently staring at what is sin and not that it can ruin happiness or whatever it is that sin does to a person. And I'm not saying there's a situation where he's looking at it and he's telling these people, he's trying to help these people, but at the same time he's trying to prove a point that what they were doing was not right. And what nowadays people would think it would just be like dark magic or something, bro. That's what, back then they were probably doing. He probably ran into something that we would be like, man, dude, that's like black magic, bro. It's like witchcraft that they're doing. And so he tells these people that their warlock or whatever, I don't even know how to explain it. Like their warlock is not real. Like they don't get their power from this warlock. So he tries to prove to them that their warlock is not even a real thing, and is not present, it's not there. So he makes them do what they do to try to get power, to understand the future or whatever they do. He tells them to do that, and he tests them. And after they get tested, after they get tested, the people, they he does the same thing in the right way, the burnt offering the right way. In the old time, the burnt offering the right way, but he tells them that y'all were so, he basically tells them that they were so wrong that when he does his sacrifice, the burnt offering sacrifice, he told them that to make it even harder for him to prove that how powerful he is. And not just how powerful he is, but he tells them to put the burnt offering that they were trying to do he said he's going to replicate, basically he said he's going to replicate what they're trying to do, but harder, much harder. He tells them and it's much harder because he basically tells them he basically taunts them because they're doing like witchcraft or sorcery or something like that, and they're doing it to a false god. There's no such thing as a false god because there's only one God. But they're doing this to a false deity, and it's not right at all. So he goes and he sees this, and he tells them, he goes up to their priest and tells them, I don't even think they're priests at this point, because if you're doing this to that if they were doing that to that existence, if y'all know what I'm talking about, that can't be holy in the sense of, and priests are known to be holy, so I guess they were like somewhat like magicians or something like that. But at the same time, somebody was looking out to make sure that this doesn't happen again. So their burnt offering never worked. It was like for a whole week, he stared at their burnt offering, and none of their deities or whatever showed up. None of their dark magic or whatever it is that it was showed up. Nobody. The sacrifices did not work. And then it was time for him to prove himself, but he didn't have to do this. He didn't have to spend his time to do this. He proved himself, but he did it in such a way that it shows that there was some sense of taunting. It proves that there was some sense of taunting. He literally goes and he tells them to do the same thing that they were doing for a whole week, but this time put water on it for their burnt offering. Put water on Elijah's sacrifice. Put water on it. So he was like, put water on it. And the thing that took weeks for them to do, and it didn't work out in the end. The thing that took weeks for them to do, and it didn't work out in the end. Because what is about to happen with Elijah and these false prophets in the past, in this old time past, is about to be instantly shown that they were wrong. And the way that they were shown that it was wrong was in the sense of physics. If you're like a scientist or something, I don't even know how to explain it. If you're like a scientist or something, because we're on the internet trying to fix the internet and do all this. If you're trying to get physics with it, in the sense of science, their sacrifice was a dry incense, and it didn't work for gaining power or anything like that. It didn't work. It didn't work at all. So since it didn't work, to prove that it didn't work, they do it for a whole week, and they don't basically, it doesn't succeed. They don't gain any power. So they don't gain any power from what they're doing. They're offering sacrifices to a dark creature, bro. It's basically, and so now it's his turn to prove himself, and he does it, and he instantly does it, but he does it so fast that people don't seem to understand how important that situation was. Not about offering sacrifices to a false god. That we already know that. It's the fact that there is such godliness within the kingdom that he basically their burnt offering, like a cigarette. They were giving them a cigarette, not like temptation, but like a cigarette is burnt. Isn't it like dry leaves? They're giving them dry leaves and telling them to turn it on fire, because if their deity, their source of power is from God, it will light up, and eventually it doesn't, and he is held to show. He's not held because he's free to do whatever he wants, but he's fine. He's like, he finally, it's his turn to show what he can do, and it's not. I don't like to put it in the context of it's his turn to do his stuff, but at one point it's like he has basically told them that their time is up for all this false idolatry and worshiping false gods and all this stuff. So he does the same thing, and with a matter of seconds, his thing instantly it instantly lights up, instantly, and another win, bro. We landed at retail with this one, bro. Woo! Goodness me. So basically, nice. All right. In the sense of gaming, in this game, I have just now got a victory royale in the challenge, bro, and I got it. So we have landed we've landed at retail. I got retail done, I got lazy, I got tilted done. Now there's others. This is round 2, second chance. So there we go, second chance. In the what's it called? The challenge of what? The challenge of the Globetrotter challenge, bro. So basically, alright, so that has been achieved. Guys, look at the coincidence though, bro. Look at the coincidence. I bring up Jesus Christ, right? I bring up Moses, right? And then, for some reason, people seem to not understand. Like, not that they don't understand, but for some reason, it's not talked about much about how, like, I just got an NAE. Hold on. This is I just got an NAE win while doing this challenge. So I can still stay on NAE North. This one. We don't have to go to Asia server or Oceania. Um, so yeah, people don't like for some reason like don't really mention much about stuff that I'm saying. I guess maybe because it's ancient texts and they don't have access to it. But go and get a Holy Bible when you can and read. And I know at first it could seem a little tough, but remember that it's tough. It's not like, the reason why I say it's tough is because, like, Noah's Ark. We could do, I don't have enough, like, ways of communication to tell y'all that, like, God is God. You understand what I'm saying? God is God. God is God. And he has this way of being. And however it is, and the time is being, the way I'm telling y'all and giving y'all an explanation of how it is, you can kind of see somebody that is the creator. God, not me. Not saying me. I'm saying like what I'm explaining as a creator. It's just so beautiful because like the thing with Noah's Ark and everything like that you know, he showed favor. All right, here's the challenge for. It's not for it, but doing the challenge, the OG Globetrotting challenge. We've landed everywhere. And now we're doing a second chance. I've won at Lazy. I won at Tilted on the first one, and the second chance I've won at Lazy Links, and now I'm landing Wailing Woods. So with Noah. Look at the coincidence, dude. Elijah shows up with Moses after all that time, and they present themselves and spend the time with Jesus Christ, the Son of God. And remember, Moses is the one that did all those, was like eyewitness to what God can do in the physical. And you know, he is like, in the sense of, because I read the Holy Bible, the fact that I know that they were like convening, it helps me understand that there's no bias. It's the other way around. It's like completely. It's completely, it's not completely, but it's twisted in a way to think that there's being biased. Because biased on, this term, it's not right. Because if you understand, think about it. I mean, I don't talk about end time creatures, that dang beast or snake or whatever. I don't talk about that. I don't like to. I don't talk about that. I don't like talking about any of that stuff. Not about saving people and stuff like that. So there's your importance with Elijah in there. I needed to tell y'all the importance of Elijah, because there's not many and think about this. If y'all talk about the law of Moses, all right? You talk about there's the law of Moses, and then there's Abraham Accords with all this, and then you have. So with that being the case, and then you have Moses showing up personally to Jesus Christ, and he shows up with somebody else. He shows up with Elijah. Think about that. Isn't that like, like this is a person that has parted the seas with God and is showing up with Elijah. So it's not just that they're a duo. You understand what I'm saying? They're like, they are together, and then they leave. You know, they left heaven to go and make a presentation in front of God to Jesus, his son that's in the flesh on earth, knowing almost everything that was to exist on earth. And with that being said, Elijah then, because I have to tell y'all the reason why. I mean, I don't know if this is all the reasoning, but Elijah was given the special moment of being able to be mentioned next to Moses and Jesus Christ when Jesus Christ was on earth. So, and this is what, you ever heard that song? I normally don't play it too much, but remember that song, this is why I'm hot? Dude, this is why Elijah was hot, in the sense of like, at that moment in time, nobody could compare. Nobody could compare in this moment right now. Because what he's about to do to these people that are doing, like, getting fake dried up grass and it's not lighting on fire. Because I'm on the internet and I'm over here having to speak on the internet, I'm having to use the tools that I have on the internet to help spread the word. What I'm trying to explain to y'all was, whatever happened, like, we are so thankful to have people that can watch us, like Elijah. We gotta be thankful, bro, because the way that he teaches these people to not do that sorcery or magic, I don't know what it was, bro, but it was not right. The way he does it is so harsh that it's not just harsh, it's strong, it's strength, it's strength. Because to have the patience, bro, to have the patience to sit there and know that this, after everything, all this stuff, after Cain and Abel, after all these things, after Noah's Ark, after all these things, there's just certain things that, like, just don't ride with the sense of time. We don't know how or what it does to God when somebody sins. Obviously, something I don't know if you can say even obvious, but it's almost like purity. Purity is in being stained or something like that. I don't know what it is. But something about sin does not fall right. So at this point, and Elijah is a master at this already. He's a master at this because remember, the Hebrew people did not have the commandments that the Levites were caring for early in the days. And one time, somebody in the tribe of Levi accidentally touched the Ark of the Covenant, which is the Ten Commandments, moving in being transferred to another location, and all this stuff is being moved, and somebody actually touched the box, and that person passed away. Like back in the day, that's what whatever it was, it's like passed away. I guess it's called passed away. So because and that's what happened, and while moving that around, because it's being, you touch the commandments. You couldn't touch the actual written, like, you know how I'm over here saying these are ancient texts and stuff like that? That's the real ancient text. I mean, yes, these are all ancient texts, like the Bible and stuff like that. They're ancient. That's an ancient text. That's so ancient in the sense of specialty that the fact that it's so, it needed a specific type of people and like a specific like way of handling it. It's not, you're not shipping and handling the Ten Commandments. So that's like an ancient text. So somebody the tribe of Levi was responsible for caring for it. So of course somebody knows where it's at. So of course, but what y'all have to know, even if you know where it's at, and you're not from where I'm hoping you're always from. If you, and like, think about it, bro. I had to just do this because I had no maps. And I landed at whatever. Where did I land? Where did I land, bro? I'm over here having to do this. And then that's the Brazil server. So, whoa. We'll go to Europe. Alright. So then all these things are, all right. So basically, man, I have all this, I'm able to tell y'all about like days like this. These people were then like given the, you know, the responsibility of transferring the sketched on commandments from God. And they're carrying it, and it's very, very, it's delicate but strong at the same time, because it really, like, the tribe of Levi is very, very specifically mentioned to be the ones that are the people that hold that. But what people don't really understand is that, in a way, they were all, even though they were tribes, everybody had their way, they mostly spoke like in Hebrew, in a language that we don't really know. It could be Hebrew, but we know that the Hebrew people were the ones taken, like, in a sense, and then fixed by Moses, and with God. And then now we have Jesus Christ, who was somebody that has helped us so much tremendously that, like, there's no way to, like, compare what, it's not about competition or comparing in the sense of thing. You got to remember that he is the Son of God, and since he's the Son of God, and y'all gotta remember that he came in the flesh. If y'all want to get, because if we're doing this to fix the internet, first that's one of the first steps, bro. It's not about, hey, I are accepting Jesus into your heart. It's like you gotta just know that he came in the flesh. Just know it. Remember John 3:16, that God so loved the world that he gave his only son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish but shall inherit eternal life. All right, with that being said, later on in life, in the times of the biblical age, in the New Testament, it speaks about a moment when Jesus Christ is seen by one of the disciples speaking to Moses. The disciples, before Jesus Christ came, the disciples only knew about Moses as like, and Abraham and everybody, but they knew Moses based upon like the freeing of them from those camps, those Egyptian camps. And now he's showing up afterlife, in life, to Jesus Christ with Elijah. Remember that Moses is the one that split the sea and did all those plagues and all those things, remember? And then he, like, for him to show up to Jesus Christ is important because, you know, that Jesus Christ has his royalty is very important. So the fact that Elijah is there is one of the crazy things about it, is that Elijah is, I'm going so far in circles about what is about to happen with Elijah and the people that he has spotted doing bad stuff, hoping for change. We can only assume that those people were, they were in a way sinning. Not Hebrew people. I'm saying these people that Elijah has ran into committing error in front of him, that is those commandments that were carried by Levites. These people, this is before what we know is the internet. You understand? So, and he knows the commandments. So, and he runs into a community that's doing this other things, knowing, it's like almost being in the past and running into people running around a camp, or like a run for water, doing the water dance. He runs into people doing the water dance around a statue and stuff like that, doing situationally. They're doing rituals that are only been requested by God style rituals, but asking somebody else for help, for power, or whatever it was. And that's idolatry, committing like sacrifices to another god. That's such a sin. That's so bad, because it's so bad, and it almost doesn't make sense. But like their priests, the people that they were looking up to, the civilization that Elijah walked up on. Hold on. This is let me get into talk about the game real quick. This game is the Globetrotter Challenge in Fortnite OG. You can, if you don't win when you at your drop spot, you have to wait until you land, basically land at every spot and return to that spot after. It's hard to explain. It's like a map challenge. You basically cannot land at the place that you didn't win at. So, with that being said, wait, this is on Europe. This is Europe server. Alright. This is a drop spot. I know for solo this is a drop spot, bro. If I'm on that kind of server, bro, goodness me. So basically now, so with Elijah, he shows up with Jesus Christ, who is the Son of God, and he is so much peace. he is love. He has a lot of love, and when he shows up, to Paul. He shows up to Paul eventually, but there is a moment where Moses shows up to Jesus Christ with Elijah, and now you see that little pallet that I just you see that pallet that I was like I was just beating up to try to get mats. You see those pallets that I was just trying to get mats from? Okay, so in the sense of things, I'm not saying that the Bible is electronic. What I'm saying is that when he ran into those people and told them to not do that, he basically told them to get their burnt offerings, which looked like a pallet, like this, and they sat there for days trying to light it on fire, and they did not do it. And then it was his turn, and he said he threw water. He told them to put water on it. He put water on their already burnt, ready to be ignited stuff. And then he instantly did it. It wasn't magic or anything like that. He instantly did that. It was planned it seemed like it was planned so much, because the amount of time that he waited for that to not succeed, it's incredible. Because, if you're having to show up to, being able to show up with Moses to see Jesus Christ on earth, in that special moment, there must have been something really, really peculiar about what happened in that moment, bro. Because he is one of the first people to really, really, really follow the commandments. Because remember that there was a time that there wasn't commandments, but there is a time where even though they didn't have commandments, we knew that there was God. So he shows up, and then he finally ignites the what they were thinking is a burnt offering. And then Angel Michael, bro, basically this isn't a video game or a game. He basically Angel Michael was able to hold on to 150,000 in one single session of the night. He, as a human being, was able to literally correct these people. And I'm not going to get into too much about it because we're so late in time. They didn't have Jesus Christ in the sense of teaching back then. So how he fixed that civilization after seeing that their stuff was not working. And this is before Jesus Christ showed up on earth to give us a chance at being in communication with God and everything like that. This moment in time, he basically that was one of the craziest things I've ever seen. Because you can't, with Angel Michael, it's dude, he is very, very important. He has standard of in a sense of numerical level events of being an angel, bro. Not just an angel, an archangel, which is in a way, not which. Therefore, for in that instant, means that he is very, very close to God, and not in the sense of being God. He, in the sense of being an archangel. And then the reason why I'm mentioning this like this is because there is something in another world or something like that where Fortnite OG is being not played all the way because there's another game out called Ark Raiders. How could y'all do that, bro? Why would y'all do such a thing? Why would y'all make a game spamming the word Ark? Don't y'all understand that the word Ark is it's very important? that's like in the sense of things. It's like ranking your like think about you. It's the Arc Raiders is so far from being an archangel that I am not about to sit here and just be like ignorant and not say what I seen, bro. I was on stream, bro, and looking at a stream, and all of a sudden there's a game called Arc Raiders, and the thing about that, the moment that I saw that the main weapon that you start off with, the default weapon that they had in that game was called a Pharaoh, bruh, I never saw another game of Arc Raiders again, bro. Yeah. This is months and months ago, bro. This game was released months ago. And I'm telling you, on the streaming side, platform of existence and stuff like that, when a new game comes out or something like that, which can't really compare it, comes up, it's like another thing, dude. It's like, it takes time away from it. Like it is not. So everybody was watching this thing, and the moment that I'm sitting there, it's like, oh wow, look at the graphics. I'm like, oh goodness me, graphics are nice. Yeah. And then all of a sudden I'm seeing other streamers playing this game, and then all of a sudden I'm seeing their basic default thing that they're dropping is called a Pharaoh. Their default weapon is called a Pharaoh. I instantly, think about it. Think about being a gamer, knowing that a new game has come out, and having the strength to literally say, I'm good, bro. You think about that. Think about that. Like, time is going by so slow in some circumstance that the idea that we have something to stream like that game, that Arc Raiders game, bro, which is not... Dog, think about it, bro. Think about everything I just said. And then that game happens to have its default pickaxe or default whatever you want, bro. It's called a Pharaoh. I'm like, no sirree, no sirree, no sirree. And I don't ever say sir. And then I was like, dude, so I went months and months without literally watching streams. Because they're streaming Arc Raiders, bruh. With Arc Raiders, first and foremost, you can't spam an angel's first, like, in the sense of, what is it in the sense of chain of command? You can't, y'all would spam the name Arc Raiders. Think about how bad they got it eventually. They ended up having their default pickaxe called Pharaoh, bro. Their default pickaxe is called Pharaoh. And y'all already know that the Pharaohs in the days didn't know, like, they're not your person that you look up to. They're not your hero. They're not role models. I'm gonna tell you right now. So I instantly went through this all this time, bro. All this time, and I instantly quit. I instantly quit watching that because the name was called Pharaoh for their gun, bro. I was like, instantly. It's not easy, though. It's not easy to be like that. But it's, in a way, it can be. In a way, it can be easy. So, Arc Raiders, hey, dude. The power of Arc Raiders. Listen, think about it, bro. Do I even make a comment, bro? Yeah? Oh my gosh, bro. Do I even make a comment? Because the reason why, come on, bro. Do I make a comment? The thing is, yes, I do make a comment. The reason why is because I see OGs of this game playing this game, knowing very well that there's a freaking Pharaoh is the one they look up to, bro. Come on, bro. It's easy to say, sound like, come on, bro, and and say it like that. But to really do it like I did, bro, it's not. Eventually, it's you can laugh. I guess we can. But the problem is dude, why would they? Just because the graphics, I don't. But listen, bro, you're never gonna see me play Art Raiders. I'm gonna tell you right now, you're never gonna see me play Art Raiders. You're never. You can. You know Justin Bieber. You know how he says never say never, bro. I'm never going to play Art Raiders. Ever. And not a hater. I'm never gonna play Art Raiders. Even if I have $1 billion system. There's all these other games. Remember, what was that game that came out that even Elon Musk played? I had nothing, no bad thing to say. Whatever. All these games have come out. All these games have come out. But I will tell you one thing. What was that? It's called. It's an MMORPG that it really sounds intriguing, bro. It really sounds intriguing. But it's in the past. The thing is, I mean, do I really? All right, bro. All right, man. To be honest, bro. Listen, bro. I'm having to wear this skin and say this, bro, because I have lived through what it is to deny, like, that of a situation. You know who else? Guess who else? Guess who else is on the streaming platforms that is another person that really showed through time? We don't know what he does in his private time because he streams his entire time. Is Aussie Antics. Aussie Antics is still showing what is going on with Fortnite, bro. The server. Like everybody else went and tried Art Raiders. I know very well. First and foremost, bro, I'm never gonna I'm using Code Houstonian, bro. The OG, this is the true, never made a mistake account with all these skins, bro. I didn't die, or nor did I come from the depths of death. But I'm gonna tell you one thing, bro. I'm gonna say one thing for sure. The fact that I'm giving Art Raiders a moment of my time on this account is hilarious, because you know that I'm not going to do that, bro. You know very well that I will not do that. It's funny, but it's not funny at one point, because the fact that it's called Art Raiders, the fact that it's called Art Raiders, Art Angels, bro. Very important, bro. Very, very, very important. Very, very important. And the fact that it's called Art Raiders, I'm like, dog, you have completely diluted what you're doing about the fact that there's Art Angels, bro. There's 3 of them. There's not Metatron and all this stuff. I'm not here to be rude or anything. I'm like, dog, continue doing what y'all are doing, bro, on the internet, and see how it's gonna get you. It's not right. So, and nobody's gonna say it. Listen, hold on, guys. This is the OG map Globetrotter challenge. You land at a drop spot, you win, and you go to the next drop spot. You don't land at the same drop spot. And then if you don't win, like basically I can land at Tilted one more time, but I already did and used it. I won at Tilted, so I'm able to land at Tilted one more time. But since I didn't, and then I also won at Lazy Links on the second chance. On the first chance, I did not land. I did not win at Lazy Links in the first try. I did not win. So basically, I had a second chance after 15 hours of gaming on Fortnite that I went to every drop spot there was, and I have had a second chance at going to Lazy Links, and I won. So now with that being said, I can still land there. I can land, but I have to win every single time. So I'm landing at every drop spot that there is. And then, so if you don't win, you have to go around the entire map. And then you come back, and then you have a chance at winning from your spawn location. Right? So that's what's happening with Lazy Links. Lazy Links, I just won on the second chance. On the first try on Tilted, I won. Now it's the first try, so I'm literally learning the map, but I'm having to win, and then choose my drop spots. So basically, that's what's going on here, and now I'm having a build fight. Hold up, I have to reset the game. Look at this. I gotta reset the game. Or that's like a moderator or something. Look, it's invincible. Whoa. Whoa. Goodness me, look, it's invincible. Doesn't mean that I'm gonna pray to you, bro. Doesn't mean that I'm gonna ask for your blessings or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're in the game like this, and it's like, but then the fact is, dude, what I'll say is that at least you're in this game and you're not, you're invincible in this game. I'm not gonna sing, but I can throw fireworks. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's like his spirit of firework. Like, dude, listen, I've come all the way. I'm using Code Houstonian, bro. I've had streamed 30 to 50 hours, bro, recording. And I'm finally gonna tell you, literally, I'm finally saying it out loud, bro. I was like, all right, I was watching a stream and I saw Arc Raiders come out. I was like, wow, this is incredible. The graphics are amazing. But at the same time, I was like, this is ignorant to the fact that there's Archangels. And then I started spending time, and then I learned that there's no building. And their default pickaxe, bro, the default weapon, bro, that they are looking for is called Pharaoh. I was like, yo, dude, I gotta dip. I can't, because this is teaming. This looks teaming. I gotta go. I gotta get out of this lobby. This looks like teaming. And with that being said, I wouldn't do this at home. So, let me reset the game, bro. Bruh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, that was the Asia server, bro. I had the chance of getting close to a better server now. Alright. Oh no, we're going into Asia again on accident. Oh my goodness. The Asia server. Dude, listen. That situation, bro. Hold on, bro. Everything, bro, a lot of things are, bro, I mean, think about it, bro. I'm not here to stress test anything. I'm not a stress tester, bro. Okay? I'm not here to stress test anything, okay? The fact that there is, like, I hope that when y'all understand that we're doing this challenge, the Globetrotter challenge, that you have to drop spot. Your drop spot is where you either can land again if you only win, but if you don't, you have to land somewhere else until you've landed everywhere on the map. So with that being said, I have not landed here, and I've changed to the Asia server, bro. So right where we're landing right here, this is, normally I would want a better server from distance. I'm not saying the Asia's bad. But in the sense of distance, bro, this is really close to the center. So, goodness me. But what I do want to say, now that we're playing the Globetrotter mode, bro. Yes, the blue tech, dude. Finally. Like, I'm not a stress tester or something like that. I don't do that. The one thing I do want to say, I'm not proud or prideful person. But one thing I hope everybody recognizes, bro, is that during those times that there was games being released and stuff like that, all these games, remember that was called Elden Ring and everything like that? Dude, I have so much respect for the word elder, and that I didn't partake in that. But it's not the same as what actually is happening with Arc Raiders. People not understand, in Arc Raiders, with Arc Raiders, it's like, bruh. I mean, Clicks is the other one, bruh. It's like there's only me. In the end, bro. Think about it. It's only me, and it's only me and Clicks, dude. Like left. In the sense of like OGs and stuff like that. Except maybe Sundown. Who else, bro? Zeke for sure. Zeke never fails. That's what I'm saying is that what I'm trying to explain is that it was not easy, bro. Like I'm gonna put my skin back on, bro. My OG, the Havoc skin, and I have to remember to change the server. I have the ability to basically say I went through time, not seeing a new game release that Ninja and Tfue and everybody, I'm not talking down on the streamer, everybody fell into temptation in front of our eyes, even knowing very well that weapon is called a dang Pharaoh, bro. And I'm like the only one that didn't go into that game, dude. I didn't go into that. And it's really easy at one point because when you see the truth, like, wow, Arc Raiders, oh my goodness, bro. You're not gonna spam the word Arc even around me, even because the word angel is important. And then there's archangels, bro. But what I need to make sure is, like, if we're doing this, is that I'm not talking down, and I'm not saying, but remember that there's only 3 archangels. So I don't want to say that Uriel or Metatron aren't. I'm gonna say right now that they're not archangels. I'm gonna say I'm not. I have no, like, bro. All I know is that they're not archangels. I'm not saying anything else. What I'm saying is that there's only 3 archangels, bro. There's only 3, and I'm gonna tell you their names. Y'all already know Michael. Sir Michael, however you think it is important and respectful, I have the right to say like this because I have personally avoided anything that was gonna spam his beautiful name, God-given name. Anything. So, like, I'm talking about people were trying to, like, I was working at a place and they were making people, like, name Michelle, and I'm like, that's way too close to trying to be the name Michael, when Michael's not a Michelle at all. He's an archangel, bro. So I completely avoided people that were named Michelle or like weird things that would even be close to Michael. So I can say that. But if y'all are playing Archangel or not Archangel, see what I'm saying? Arc Raiders, and y'all are playing Arc Raiders or something like that, and y'all think that y'all are all right to say Michael like a normal name, y'all might as well have to say not sure, because remember Kern, those people thought that was a God particle, bro. Those people were thinking that was a God particle, and we're talking about an archangel. So I would say maybe like the best way to maybe mention his name is like honoring his value in his name by avoiding things like Michelle or how do you like what other names? I just remember I've had to go through stuff where names like that were changed a little bit, bro. Like his name is obviously he's not a transgender situation. He's a man named Michael. Okay, so or an angel named he's an archangel, bro. So no, but there's an instance where I knew at the moment, but I don't know now. I just knew that, like, if I was talking to somebody and they were like, all right, well, for my identification for like logistics at some like work or whatever is named, even if I heard the name Michael, I wouldn't jot it down and write it down like, oh, this is Michael Sawyer, or something like that. If your name is not only Michael, from what we know, or Archangel Michael, you're not gonna get me to put your name down on a computer or with my pen, because that is only one. There's only one. Just like there's only one Jesus Christ. Like, not that they're at the same level. I'm saying that in the sense of importance and sacredness. And then people wanted to do like, say, what was it? It wasn't. They weren't making fun of Michael, Archangel Michael. They weren't. I think. If they were, I'm so glad we left and we stayed away from like what is like some sort of danger, because that, do y'all not realize that archangels are like really, really important? And with that being said, why are there? Yeah. Also, I don't have any. I don't mess with anybody like such thing as like Jessica, bro. Please, bro. How is anything like that, bro? So with that being, it's Jessica. Jessica, dude, that's another type. I think that's just stress level testing of society or something. I don't know, bro. Because I don't know Jessica, bro. I don't know Jessica or things like that. I don't know Michelle, something like that. I don't know like that. Like, and then, oh yeah, like Gabriella. Bro, me mentioning it, you probably won't ever hear me mention something like this again. Because I know what it is to not be involved with that stuff. Like, just because you have a role model doesn't mean that you gotta name them something even close to your role model. So with that being said, I'm not really playing, but if you come up to me, I hope that you ain't falsely doing stuff like that, because with that, I mean, bro, like, come on, like, it's just that, and I have no further matter discussion about of keeping what is sacred, bro. Keeping what is sacred, and that's how I am, dude. And I'm not trying to be rude or anything like that, but to be an archangel, I can't even tell y'all how it is, because I'm not. But I would say that if you are an archangel, how has the idea, of how has it? Now, I'm not saying that the archangels have done anything wrong. I'm saying the idea for in society. Oh, it's probably those people that Elijah had to fix, because what they was doing was bowing to people that were not set from God. Because I can't explain somebody saying, "Hey, name somebody archangel this." No, not archangel. No, just their own name without the chain of command level. So if you don't understand that at one point, y'all gotta understand that there is a chain of command, big time, and everybody plays a certain role, and they have their ways, but it's not to. This is what I'm trying to tell y'all, is that there's not a way. I mean, after all these things I've told y'all, bro, I'm not gonna play Arc Raiders. I'm on Fortnite right now, bro. I'm not gonna play Arc Raiders. You're not gonna catch me on Arc Raiders. You're not gonna catch me, like spamming important names and stuff like that, or even changing your names. Like in the sense of translation, in the sense of like language and stuff like that, I can understand. I mean, I don't understand. I don't understand. I understand caring, but to name your kid like these things, it's hard to understand unless that person is that. You understand? So with that being said, I understand the respect, but at the same time, what happened with the people? Look at what's happening with the Metatron situation. Look at that. They're being compared to archangels. And first, with the archangels, that's such an important thing. The thing about that to me is that the archangels have, at this point in this amount of time, have remained loyal and have not made mistakes like that. There's things coming out in time and that are able to manipulate reality, or something, because I'm having on my, I think that's the reason why we're fixing this on the internet and using my old, like getting on to this old time thing and all that, because like, bro, y'all, look, I mean, at one point, enough is enough, because not for fighting instances, but for the fact that, dog, I don't understand why somebody is trying to change the names of the true commanding. It's like if you're in the military, but not like military, because it's heaven. You understand? And so I don't understand why somebody's trying to do that. It's like, how can you have? I don't know. How can, unless you're from the dark side, there's no excuse. And you still, even if you're from the dark side, you're even worse than your excuse. If you are naming people like Michelle or Gabriella or something like that, you gotta be smart with what y'all do, bro, because I will ignore you. It's not like I'm not talking about like consequences. I'm saying that I will just straight up ignore you, bro. Because, I mean, like, there's one of the greatest players right now, like, I don't get it, bro. So there's that. There's the whole thing about that situation, bro. I'm not gonna play Arc Raiders because I know very well that I don't play with pharaohs.
Leader Steve Scalise, Majority Whip Tom Emmer.
That like open borders. These people are crazy, but that's okay. Because because I want 5 things that are like.
I was at that house at 20. Oh, 21?
So now we're sitting here. And yeah, I'm not the greatest person. I don't do bad, but I'm not the greatest person. But I understand, like, names are important, bro. Names and identity and stuff like that are highly important. And it's not just about value in the sense of currency, dude. Because, like, think about it. If it's 2026 and I'm sitting here, bro, like, they're so amazing that I was intrigued by the idea that there's something, a new game. But at first I was like, dude, Arc Raiders. I don't know anything else, Arc. I don't know anything else except Archangels. So, and then I'm sitting there, no wonder, bro. No wonder that they defaulted to have, it's not called default or like, it's in a sense of things, it's called a pharaoh, bro. Think about how it is to be named a pharaoh. Pharaohs were like Nazis, bro. Back in the day, they were not. And when you spawn in that game, bro, they are looking for something called a pharaoh to use as a tool, and that didn't ride with me, bro. So I mean, months ago that game was released, and then in my life, bro, I ended up not spending any more time on that game ever. Because I saw that thing Pharaoh. I saw the Archangel thing, but remember, angels are heavenly beings. And yeah, there was alright, hold on one moment. This is the challenge of the Globetrotter challenge. I've landed at Tilted and I won, and I landed at Lazy and I won. You cannot land at the same spot. Alright. Until you've covered the map. And that's how it is. So I'm queuing in right now. Alright. Saving the world and all these things. With everything being said, I'm still here. We're playing for it. But in a way, I'm the one that's still here. Even though I still gotta give credit to Clicks, bro. I gotta give credit to Clicks because he stayed streaming this game even though he was streaming is streaming competitive, and he's streaming all these other chapters, bro. I'm still here. I'm still like doing this, and you know, I didn't, dude. It's really easy to be like, I'm not going to Arc Raiders, bro. Like, come on, Epic. If y'all think I'm gonna go to Arc Raiders, I don't know how else to explain to you that I mean, think about it. Elijah, I'm talking about Elijah and Moses and everybody that appeared to Jesus Christ almost. And I'm not even being rude. I'm like learning from it. And then now I'm telling y'all, it's not a promise or an oath. But if you think that I'm gonna go and see something with Pharaoh in this day and age, after all this stuff, that Pharaoh and all those people treated these people this way and all that, I'm never gonna go to Art Raiders, bro. I mean, there's people that are like gaming enthusiasts that, dude, I don't even want to see that games as a choice in the sense of the game. Remember the gaming awards? There's a possibility, bro, that game might get into the gaming awards. And I'm like, no way. No. How can a Pharaoh? No. I mean, this late in an age, bro, I'm not gonna play Arc Raiders, bro. I had to go all in circles. Like, think about it, bro. No wonder Nick Merckx is like out there, like, and he say number one villain on Arc Raiders. He's not a villain, bro. He came from Fortnite, bro. He came from Gears of War. We're not villains. And dude, he's sitting there and saying his title says #1 villain on Arc Raiders. No wonder, bro. Like, don't judge a book by its cover. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Don't judge a book by its cover. Even though he's saying he's the #1 villain on Arc Raiders, he's not a villain, bro. He's not a villain. He must have some sort of knowledge to be like, this is right, bro. The thing is called Archangel Raiders. And angels do not, you know what I'm saying? They're angels. Angels are angels. You know what I'm saying? Angels are angels, bro. And you know that angels don't come from the depths of darkness, bro. So the fact that Arc Raiders is like that, and then he has to participate in that because that's how his business standpoint or life standpoint. I chose a different way of path, bro. I didn't say I didn't choose online streaming or anything like that because I have millions of views on my YouTube channel. But I can say that I did not play Arc Raiders, bro. I mean, the problem, there's really no problem because I didn't play that game. Even though it was like, as a possibility of doing time, getting past time, and all this stuff like that. It's not about getting past time. That game, I cannot believe it, bro. I cannot believe it. But they did that. So I don't know why. It has all these graphics and all this stuff. So, and they decided to name, dude, you understand what I'm saying after talking about this? Like, think about it. They decided to name their created new game, like, main defaulted thing, bro. Pharaoh. That as a tool, not as like something to stand against, bro. Come on, y'all. And you know what? I don't even think they did that. In a way, I think that's just the way that the world works, bro. Y'all, they decided to name it Arc Raiders when you know very well that there's 3 Archangels, and that very well their importance. And they go and they name them a video game, Arc Raiders. So there's Archangels and then there's Arc Raiders? No, bro. So I never played it, bro. I never played it, and I'm not here to be like a person that's like putting it on the hot seat or something like that. But I do have the knowledge and memory to show you and tell y'all I never did a game moment or queue, and I don't even have a login for either Elden Ring, even though Elden Ring is not as bad as Arc Raiders, bro. Arc Raiders, you got me messed up. Oh, please, like, come on, y'all. Think about it. That is, like, don't think about it too long, though. I'm not telling you, like, don't think about it too long. Just know that, if I look at this, my skin that I'm using, it's the OG Twitch Prime. I'm the gifted subber. I'm the one that started giving gifted subs. And now I'm telling y'all, I didn't stop Fortnite, bro. I didn't leave and go to something that is another shooter. I did not play Apex. I did not play Apex. You're playing and talking with somebody that knows very well what we have here. And what we have here is not to be diluted by other words and names and stuff like that. Pharaoh, like, think about it. People are shooting something called Pharaoh, bro, in the year 2026. It's not a sign of good. Just because they know the sign of a biblical level opponent does not mean you have done something good. Literally, bro. I mean, those people, they probably, bro, I'm not here to judge, bro, but those people that made that game, I'm not even, I'd rather kind of avoid them, bro. Maybe they need help, but somebody else can go and get it, bro, because that is too far above my pay grade, bro. Think about it, bro. Archangels, they are archangels for a reason, and there's a moment of time where Michael is spoken of. And then there's a lot of times spoken of Elijah. And, you know, some of the numbers, not that they're against each other or comparing, but Elijah had some of the numbers in physical form that almost were like Michael. But Michael's like such a, you know, it's almost like Michael. And you know what's crazy? Out of all these talks, bro, out of all this talking, dog, I'm not even trying to be rude, bro. Dog, I looked up to Michael Jordan and everything like that. I still do in the sense of hooping and all that. But, bro, like, I'm a little frustrated with the fact that, like, dog, unless you are Michael, Archangel Michael, I don't think you, or if you are Archangel Raphael or Archangel Gabriel, there's no reason to, like, tell people that that's your name. You understand? So that's the thing that gets me. And then when you multiply that by the standards of the default weapon, like being a pharaoh, you're not gonna catch me as Pablo Murillo playing that. I'm not gonna be playing that game, bro. So, and it took a lot. I mean, it's been months. I could have spent a lot of time. I could have spent a lot of time, and I didn't, bro. I could have spent a lot of time playing that game, and I didn't, bro. I didn't. I don't even have a username there. There's not, and I'm not here to really say, hey, bro. I'm grateful to just say, you know what? I can at least say I didn't play Arc Raiders. We talked about politics, religion, and all this stuff. This is 5 hours into the stream. But guess what? I'm streaming, and it's not on another thing, bro. It's not on something that has something called Pharaoh. It don't got nothing like something trying to spam the beautiful names that God created in the beginning. You know, it's not disrespectful in any of that manner, bro. And you know, and that's it. I know that for some reason there's something to say about being on media that you don't talk about religion or politics or something like that. We just did both, and we don't have the possibility of getting that tariff check if it ain't for me working. You can't. You see what I'm saying? And what am I doing? Everything is, in a way, highly important. That's gotta be, okay. Of course, that has to be 100%. It's not about being against gay people, bro. I'm not against gay people at all. I'm not against gay at all. I'm not here to promote anything, but I'm really not against anybody. I'm not, like, so for the people at home that think that it's okay to think that there's another archangel has been told without declaration from God or Jesus Christ from the throne, until that day comes, I'm sorry, bro. I'm not saying that they're not angels. I'm not saying that Uriel or Metatron or whatever those. I'm on YouTube and I'm scrolling through sometime. I'm scrolling through YouTube sometime and I'm going through there and it says, let Archangel Uriel frequency help you. And I'm like, oh, okay, somebody's trying to work on healing. And then it says, let this frequency of hertz by Archangel Metatron with the T. And I'm like, wait, what? Let who? Do what? And it's not, first things foremost, it's Archangel. You're saying somebody else's name is an Archangel. So we must be in year 3000, bro. We must be in year 15,000 or something, bro. Because that means that there has been given somebody an angel's name, an archangel's command post, or however, we don't know how it works. We just know that we have that in our life, and it's beautiful, and that's nothing to spam. And I don't spam, and I don't do that, bro. So, and that's what we have, and we were laughing about all this other stuff until we get to the idea of an archangel doing something that isn't their actual name. Dude, I just got headshotted by a freaking RPG, bro. You must be a legend. One of the legends. You must be from out of town or something. The legends of tomorrow, bro. I'm sorry. I'm not here. I'm not a destroyer, bro. I'm not any of these destroyers. Nothing like that. I'm not a hypocrite. I'm not anything like that. I'm saying that, bro, before I go, I know I've been streaming like this. I'm a kind soul, bro. I'm a kind person. And I had to come back into this $15,000 account. If you know, in the amount of skin that's been purchased, it's like $15,000 worth of in V-Bucks. I'm not talking about cash. In the sense, and to be like, you know what? I don't agree with certain standards of choices, bro. Like, until I am told, bro, until we are told that there is another archangel, I don't even think in the history of time there's going to be another archangel able to be able to be like that. Think about what you have. Oh my! And then there's Michael. Think about it, dude. They did Freddy versus Jason. They did and stuff like that. I'm like, bro, what? Y'all playing, bro. Like, there's no way to make me think that it's okay to spam. Like, the only way that it's okay to, if the word spam is the right term, to say them is in the sense of let's go in promotion because it's them. But if that means that y'all have the ability to see them and stuff like that and all this other stuff, bro. So what am I supposed to do with the Cincinnati Bengals and stuff like that they don't know what they're doing? They don't know what they're doing. They're winning the Super Bowl, but don't know what they're doing. So and at one point I want to have fun and play this game and all this, but at what point y'all know that I'm not going to be playing for a long time, not because I'm going to die or something, but y'all know that we're 5 hours into the stream, bro. So y'all know at one point that, like, and I'm doing this challenge, bro. So, and y'all know very well that if I'm going to be on here, I don't necessarily think that I have limited time. The solo rank cup battle royale, it's not even OG, bro. I know that in a way I can sound ignorant or arrogant or something like that, but I know deep down inside, whenever we are like doing things, like even at work, let's say that I went to a job or work or something like that. I went to a work or something like that. Have I ever, in a way, it's like I question myself that have I ever said or wrote down somebody's name that is in the chain of command of heaven, and then, dude, what is the situation? It's not about what is at one point, because at one point it's not about that. You have to understand that this was going on a long time ago or something like that, because going into full circle around here, we're talking about Elijah when he finally gets to work on the situation where he's already working, but he's staring at these people trying to ignite something that is what they used for sorcery. And the fact is, the explanation, it has to be that they, from like the dark side, bro. It had to be from the dark side. And it's not fair, because these people everybody's basically innocent. In a way, everybody's innocent except for the people knowing very well that they're stress testing things that are not supposed to be stress tested. So, that being said, this is the challenge of the Globetrotter challenge. You have to win where you drop. If you don't, you gotta wait till round 3, round 4, round 5 to re-queue. This time we're at North. We're going straight to. We'll go straight to this drop spot over here. I already won that lady. I'm gonna go here. I don't even know how, if y'all are stress testing or something like that, I don't even know how else to say this, bro. But look at the account that I'm on, y'all. This is, and I'm not a fraud or anything like that. This is me. I can literally turn the camera on right now, and I'm not gonna do that. Because I can literally turn the camera on right now so y'all can see me. Now, I'm not here to be rude. I'm here as like a sign of like myself and my virtues and all this. Arc Raiders, y'all, and everything like that, y'all, listen, at one point, goodness, we'll never be better than the Master, bro. There's no excuse for spamming heavenly ranked angels, bro. I mean, and then trying to change the name up, there's no excuse. Like, I'm not talking about consequences. I'm saying that there's no excuse. There's no, it's not, it's just it's just that way. I'm just saying, like, think about how far this account is from 10 years ago. There's not many footage of this. There's not much of this, bro. Think about it. This has saved the world on it, bro. Founders, Umbrella, and stuff like that. And anyway, so we're going to move on from talking about what I was talking about with all that stuff. Not forever, but for some time. So I can focus on this a little bit. So, because I almost don't focus on this because I'm talking about so many things important. Wasn't there, like... Like, the fact that I even mentioned this, bro. Like, in the sense of if we were living in a world that I knew that it was doing heavenly choices and stuff like that, then, you know, maybe I could call me maybe, the song, like, call me maybe, understand to name somebody after the Bible I don't know, how do you say this, bro? Because the thing is, because the thing is, I'm not against the Holy Bible in heaven, bro. At all. I know that Jesus Christ came in the flesh. I believe it. The thing is, when I start to question, I'm not questioning the Bible. I'm questioning life in this situation. The thing that gets me sometimes is the word Pharaoh, of course, and me repeating it sounds so bad because I'm on the internet saying Pharaoh, so you can just click that and repeat it. I don't like that, so I don't do that. And then the fact that the game is in no way comparison to an actual archangel. That game, Arc Raiders, you might as well, it's not, a video game cannot compare to what is an archangel, bro. Like, just because that, dude, so that's all I want to clear up, and I've said many things that I just wanted to clear up, and many things, and that's all I'm saying, dude. There's many things, just don't spam, not because I don't, dude, if you're going to want to name somebody that's going to spend their life sentence with that name, you might as well name him the Holy Bible. instead of that, because what you're gonna do is you, like, y'all, like, this isn't, we're not in a place that is doing idolatry, bro. We're not. There's a lamb. There's a llama. Thank God. Thank God. You know what? I've been talking so much, y'all. Thank God. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna have to. I don't have AR ammo, and there's a person right next to me, bro. There's a llama, bro. Goodness me, bro. Hold on, bro. I'm always so thankful to God, bro. Seriously. And we're not anywhere near those things. Those things are to remain sacred, bro. I don't know how else to say it. Aren't they, like, what was so hard to understand that those things are supposed to remain sacred? You understand what I'm saying? It's like, what was so hard about that? It's what, I don't even know if that's the right question, because I don't want to know. You know what I'm saying? Those people are like levels of, like, if you were in a university or something like that, it'd be like the dean and stuff like that. And y'all, I mean, I don't know how else to say it. Like, how do you stay, like, loyal? How do you remain loyal? Like, not that my mind and my soul have changed in loyalty, but sounding loyal to the Holy Bible and how it has got me where it needs me to be and everything like that. And without, you know, like, saying like, hey, don't stand, like, I mean, I'm grateful that we have a world like that, there's people that are, like, you know, acknowledging that there is archangels. There is only 3 archangels. I'm glad that they know that. But what I'm not glad by is the way that they are mistreated and misrepresented. That, after all this time, it's like, y'all, we have llamas and all these things, and God is out there, and He can create, but He's also God. And I don't know how else to say this, bro. Like, the Archangel situation really got me tripping and stuff. The Arch Raiders and stuff like that. This is the only game that didn't adhere to, like, all that in a way, bro. Like, I mean, if you look at all the skins released and everything like that, this game didn't even name anybody near that. You know that? So, like, that goes to tell you the level of virtues that, you know, some people might have limits and borders and stuff like that. So, in a way, we gotta lighten it up, bro, because we are so far away from what they had. Look, we're on trying to fix the internet at night, okay? It's not even night. It turned into night recently. And it's like at night with the boys. And it's like with the boys, until further notice, bro, I need to make sure that those names aren't spam, bro. Also, you can't compare them to, it shouldn't be like that. That their names are even close to the name Pharaoh. So that's all I'm saying. Like, and then I'm not gonna continue because it's not about continuing. I'll continue to be myself, but I'm not gonna continue and talk about the angel situation, bro. The angel situation that I only know is that humankind, we are human beings, fell in love with the word so much is that they started to maybe name people the names of archangels. But I will not continue to think about why Ark Raiders creators decided to name villainous creatures as a way, a villainous level thing. Pharaoh, remember the Pharaoh, not the archangels. Even though it's called Ark Raiders, I'm not saying that the angels are that. Ark Raiders, dude, I don't know why y'all would do that, bro. Anyway, I'm dipping out of that. I'm already like in this account, in my Houstonian account, bro. Think about it. And like, I'm having to say this. Like, I don't, like, so I'm moving past it, bro. Because I don't need to know everything. Knowing everything is tough sometimes, bro. Because knowing that people, not just people, I'm talking about like just different people, just different situations and generations or whatever, however it works, is there somebody like needs to just, it's not just somebody, everybody just respect what's sacred, bro, because you know what is sacred in a way. In a way, we all know what's sacred. If you read the Bible, you know it. Something is so sacred that when it's so sacred that one of the most holy people that in a way are sacred touch the box, they wouldn't survive. So that's what I hope one day everybody understands is that, you know, there's enough, like, whenever we get whenever the world changes to, like I'm talking about like the majority population, and we're talking about like how the, what is it called, oh yeah, the voter ID, man, whoever's having to work with that, man, listen, you have maybe to have some patience, because if there's people that are, a lot of people with names of archangels, man, I've been in a situation where I run a lot of many individuals, and even when that individual's name was either Michael or like Raphael or something like that, I didn't, you know, if I had to write it down, I would avoid having to write it down for the sake of its importance. So I didn't do that, and I also didn't play Ark Raiders. So, and if I'm able to do it, you know, sometimes playing around a lot, then it's not that everybody should do it. What I'm saying is that just don't spam them, unless we're in a society where the Bible is the number one thing, almost the number one thing. Because then we have a success in changing society, bro. The whole thing with Metatron or all that, I don't understand it. I don't understand. I understand the beauty. I don't always understand it completely, but the beauty of an archangel, come on, y'all. So, why? Goodness me. Dude, that cancels the big shield, bro. There's no way to be like, hey, I'm gonna name somebody something sacred out of anger, because that's long-term anger. That's not healthy. Like, so I don't think that they're doing it out of anger. Had to go all the way there. Oh my gosh, bro. That's a thermal. I'm out. There's somebody with thermal. And a plane. In the sense of, like, life choices and stuff like that, it's okay, because we're so far in the sense of the world, not everything's okay. We're so far in time that what I'm talking about can sound like it's ancient, but even if it's ancient, bro, you gotta remember, like, what? I mean, goodness me. There's a thermal, somebody using a thermal. Ah, play second, bro. I can't even see these people, bro. Man, that's not fair. Whatever. So there you go.
But it's actually a matter in a serious way of national survival. You can't have these elections going on like this anymore. You know, you use paper ballots. If right now they have watermark, it's so safe, it's so good. You put it, it gets under a light, It says, code. It's very,
But
very
even
hard.
then, even when it's like a
Another
code,
thing,
like even if, because if a code can be just sent in mass email or like a spam or something, even then, I always knew to make sure to keep what those things are like in the sense of sacred, bro. And I did. I didn't live stream when talking too much about that stuff. I was a little frustrated, but I can't like speak for who's making those things and stuff like that. Anyway, so to make sure, I know that I'm stream. It's a long upload, bro. This is a long upload, but it's not gonna get into that 6th hour. If you think that's what's about to happen here, bro, we're gonna do another upload. It's just not gonna be on this one. This is the whole entire upload of doing uh, this mode, this game style. This was the entire thing, bro. Uh, You know what I'm saying? This is uncut raw footage, and I'm not here to be rude or anything like that. This is like, look at this, bro. We about to go in here, and then after this, we starting another stream, and it's the middle of the night stream. After this, it's not even a stream; it's an upload. So, if they thought that at one point that this was gonna be uploaded for anybody other than like anything that's not for or appropriate in the sense of Jesus Christ, then me having this upload at 6 hours, it's not happening, bro. So we have like this weird amount of time. We have like 11 minutes right now before I upload this. While knowing very well that I'm not gonna stream past the 6th hour. For the fact that the commandment is thou shalt not kill, and also that first thing's that there, I don't have any aggression, bro. I'm never aggressive. I don't want to. If we have only 11 minutes, bro, I have spent all this time talking about all that stuff, and knowing very well that we have like 10 minutes maybe before I upload this without having to edit out anything, bro. I'm not gonna edit. I'm uploading this, bro, because I don't have the knowledge of good and evil. I don't know that. That's way back in the past. All I can say is that I'm grateful to be even uploading this, bro. I am not here to trigger numerical jokes or vocals or words or temperatures. I'm here to have fun. So I'm uploading this. And then, but in the meantime, we're gonna run it up on a private session, and without having to talk about what we just talked about in this entire stream, bro, in this entire video, bro. Think about it. I'm not gonna. That's not happening. So we're about to go into a private session. I'm gonna let my phone and all this stuff cool down for a little moment of time, and then we're gonna go into build mode on Fortnite and do what we need to do, but know for a fact that we have we've been protected, and y'all, we have just a few minutes, and I would like to say thank you for any of your time. And I don't want to get all like depressing because I'm gonna get off or something like that. But I can't imagine playing this game in zero build. I'm just gonna say in zero. I can't imagine playing in zero build. You know, think about playing. If you think about not, I don't even want y'all to think about playing in zero build. Because the thing with zero build it makes this game. What y'all don't get that zero build is not. It's completely still destructive. It doesn't change the fact that this game is not an aiming game. Yes, you have to hit your shots, but that makes it only an aiming game in the gaming gap, the skill gap. If you take out zero build, it's not even about the skill gap. It's the importance of the creative style of this game, bro. Like, basically, it's like that. So I mean, I don't know if this is a rare case scenario that I'm over here playing and I don't have any experience or XP on Arc Raiders or any of them things, because I look to make sure that something is as great as it can be. As great as it can be. And we only have a few minutes here, bro. We have a few minutes here before this is uploaded, and not uploaded at the 6th hour, bro. So with that being said, I could put the camera on right now, but you know what? I'm not going to, because the thing is, we can maybe do it on the next video. We might put a camera on the next video, bro. We might just do that. And also, search within yourself the being kind and all this stuff like that, bro. Because, this was nice to talk about. We talked about so many important things. Instead of staying focused on the game, bro. And that's what this game does, is it invokes you to ignore all the problems of the outside world. And that's not a problem to me. That's not a problem to me. What is a problem is the idea of taking time away from yourself and your relationship with God. So don't ever lose that. Remember what just happened just now. We just were crossing Loot Lake in the middle of the game, and I saw a llama, bro. A little llama, bro. And I said, thank God, in the middle of all this. So with that being said, you think I'm gonna go to the solo cup right now, knowing that I have able to play in OG Chapter 7, bro. Knowing very well. Think about that. It's not about that. Bro, we're about to play it today. I'm gonna go take care of something, and then it's not like I'm here to stress test anything, bro. So I'm gonna go and take care of some things, and I'll be back in a moment. And that moment really is gonna be a very small amount of time, because what I'm really doing is just, I'm not uploading this at the 6th hour, bro. I'm not gonna do that. So, but doesn't mean I'm gonna discontinue playing the game, knowing very well that I had this game, bro.
I don't even bring this up. It costs 7% the cost of those crazy machines. I love the machines where they get the machines, they spend all this money, and they announce during the election that the tabulation will go along.
We need to get that. We have to, for sure, bro. That tariff is important, bro. Inside life, that tariff is important.
Ballots anymore. They tried it. France tried it. It failed. They go to paper ballots. They're all doing
paper ballots. Goodness me. Hopefully we get that. If y'all think that we was ever gonna have a chance of getting this tariff, dude, this in this sense of the matter, with the Democrat, after all this, bro. If y'all thought we were gonna have a chance of getting that tariff check, I don't even know how y'all would think that that was an option, bro.
For those people that like Pfizer, I said maybe you put them together because a lot of people.
Like, I have no villainous bone in my body, bro. Like, this has been some of the most beautiful time I've ever had. Think about it, bro. This is Pablo Paints on YouTube, bro. You know that back in the day that we were running around the entire map on stream with with the phone and it's all this stuff, bro. And it was always about being kind and good and all these things. But we still talked about what came before us, bro. So and that's what I want to say. So we talked. Remember what if with Marvel and everything like that, dude. This is a legendary upload. It's gonna take some time to upload, but it doesn't mean that tonight we're about to go to bed. In a way, it's because there could be. What if I decide not to play for a few days when I wake up because I'm just not trying to play? Not that I don't want to. I just make that decision. Right now, that's not going to happen, bro. And I hope that everybody that has spent time watching this, even though my voice, man, I talked a lot, okay? And I'm not talking mess, okay? I'm not talking down. But one thing's for certain is that when I learn about things and then I don't continue to do them, it's because we have grown in some way. And the time is running out, and the thing that's like the video, it's like 5 hours and 58 minutes, bro. We're not gonna go into there. And I don't want to be here to taunt anybody. But I do want to say what was important, and I'm glad we got to say that what was important in this level of beauty, okay? So with that being said, and things like that, I'm not ignorant in the sense of, dog, this person's name is not about to sit like this in my lobby, bro. I'm gonna have to rename this person. Hold up. More options. Add nickname. Wait. I changed it. I changed that person's name to Wait. And it's that? Oh, y'all, I'm not gonna spend too much time. Think about it. Look, there's only like a minute and a half left before this turns into 6 hours. We're not gonna spend that time there. We can go back and try to understand if we're gonna even have that tariff check. If it was even a possibility, if the Democrats won or something, bro. If that was even an option, bro. We might as well be like on the moon, dude. I don't even know how else to say. How else do we say this, bro? We are getting that tariff check, bro, and it is gonna happen. There's no way that Donald J. Trump is gonna let us down, bro. We ain't got a way to let us down like that, dude. So that's just the way it is, okay? And I'll upload this in a little bit because we're about to game tonight, bro. We about to game. Hold on, I gotta make sure